The right column is Ruach Tova. The sentence is basically like this. He said that if you find a little bit of good, and then you start finding another point, and another point, and another point, and you bring them together, you can start to make a song out of it. L'zamer and l'hodot. It's a song of thanks to Hashem. And this is how you make nigunim, melodies. Melodies are the good notes in music, right, that come together. And melodies are the good points in us that come together. We are a song. And what we try and do when we hear something like this is it resonates with us. And again, like I said, it gives us this incredible sense. Wow, it fills us and surrounds us. We can really be again. We can feel good again. It's important to have good moments. And music can help. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of help from the outside, especially when you have a master. So he says then that it's ki hanigunim na'asin al yidei shmevarerim ruach tova min ruach nicha'ah. So he says you make tunes. You make tunes from your good points. Because tunes come about as a result of the clarification, of the extraction of the good ruach from the ruach nicha'ah. Nicha'ah means brokenness, or feeble, or wounded. The wounded spirit. You take out the good points from the wounded part that's trying to suck us out and suck our energy and bring us down, the wounded part of us, and now we want to kind of extract the good and let it breathe. Give me a chance. And that's what the music is about. Again, to separate the Ruach Tova from the Ruach Nicha'ah. So you know there's a bunch of words. Ruach Tova, Ruach Simcha, the spirit of joy. Ruach Nevu'ah, the spirit of prophecy. Ruach HaKodesh, the spirit of inspiration, the spirit of holiness. And on this side is Ruach Atzvut, depression. Ruach Nicha'ah, brokenness, feebleness, woundedness. Ruach Ra, an evil spirit. Ruach Shtut, a spirit of foolishness. And then again, the relationship is the Ruach Ra wants to injure the Tov. It has the need to bring down the good and eliminate the joy. So what we do is we use the imagination to create, it uses the imagination to create negative feelings. It plays on our imagination and makes it even worse than it is. And it makes negative feelings about ourselves and others. So Rabbi Nachman says, Ikar hitgabrut hasimcha, but the way to get back to strength and joy is al yedei. I'm misreading it. Sorry. Ikar hitgabrut hamedameh. The way that the imaginative faculty, which is in its negative sense, capitalizes, is by bringing us into atzvut, into depression. It keeps you down, under, so it can suck off you. And it confuses you. But this whole Torah here in Nun Dalet is that if you start to remember that we are souls that were sent down to this world, to start to remember that this can't define me. I come from a higher place. Fine, I fell into this low place. But this can't define me. I have to do what's called zikaron da'alma da'ati. I have to remember the next world. I remember where I came from. It's the next world in the sense that we go back to it. But that's where we came from. To remember our connection to the higher world. And that it's never broken. What the Yetzer Hara tries to do is it convince us that it's broken, that there's a separation, that there's no chance for us. So the healing of that is, no, I have a right to be connected to God. You can't tell me that I'm not beloved. You can't tell me that I'm no good. I won't accept that anymore. The ability to see things in the perspective of eternity. Maybe those of you who have read one of my essays on Purim, so there's a verse in maybe just give me the chartreuse book, the green book. Thank you. The essay is called Esther and the Beit HaTzlamim. What's the Beit HaTzlamim? So in the Megillah itself, there's a verse that says, the story is that, and we're coming close to Purim, so I wanted to bring this in. The story is that in the end of chapter 3 of the Megillah, Haman goes to Ahasuerus and says, I want to pay 10,000 talents of silver, like big pieces of silver, loaves of silver, into your treasury, because yesh no am mifurad mifuzah b'chol medinot malchutcha, because there's a people who are separate and scattered all throughout the countries of your kingdom. So the rabbis say that the word yeshno is a very important word here. It's a key word, and I play on it throughout the entire thing. The book called the Purim Power Path, right? Yeshno, yeshno. The Midrash says that he was really saying not yeshno, that there is. That's what yeshno means in grammatical Hebrew. Yeshno is just like yesh. It means yoshin. It means they have their God, the one yeshno am echad. Yeshno, there is the one whom they call echad. Hashem, yeshno, he's yoshin, he's sleeping. It's time for us to get them. When their God is sleeping, then the coast is clear, and we can smash them, we can destroy them. So I'm paying 10,000 bullions of silver into your treasury in order for me to get the permission that I need. And without even asking who they were, the king gives him his ring and says, go ahead. So we learn from this and from other places in the Megillah that who's more dangerous to us, Haman or Ahasuerus? Haman is the guy who cannot hide his hatred of us. He's seething and foaming at the mouth. The other one is very nice. He dresses beautifully. He wears the clothes of the Kohen Gadol. He has beautiful colors and beautiful palace, and he drinks. Everybody can drink and eat what they to their heart's desire. And he says, "You're all welcome in my empire." He's more dangerous than Haman. He's the wolf in sheep's clothing. At any rate, Mordechai, this is a secret conversation. The next chapter begins, Mordechai yada. Mordechai knew. He got Ruach HaKodesh. Something is wrong here. Something is very deeply wrong. He went out to the city square and he put on sackcloth. This means goat's hair. Goat's hair. It's supposed to, it sticks into your skin and it makes your skin red. To this day, the Mikubalim use this to help somebody come out of certain things. Goat skin. Goat's hair, excuse me. And he sat there and he was crying out and crying. So Esther was told about this, and she sends out her servant, Hatach. Actually, the first time she doesn't send Hatach, who's Daniel. She sends out one of her girls. And says, here's some clothes, Mordechai. Put on some clothes. Don't wear a sock. She says, no, go back and tell Esther that this is what's going on, and she has to do something. Or a little mixed up, but that she eventually, when she sends Daniel, who is her servant, then Mordechai tells him what's going on exactly, and that he refuses to put on any clothes because something very deeply wrong is happening, and she now is in a position she has to do something. So she says, okay, this is where Esther becomes the heroine of the story. She's the one who's been placed. She's the neshama, who's right there, right inside, and she's dafka a woman, and she's dafka a feminine principle here, and she's now going to have to be the one who's going to bring the salvation. And Mordechai is telling her this, and she gets it. So right away she says, go and gather all the Jews in Shushan, and all of you fast for me.